everyone, it's Vicki from Minerva. Now today is a really exciting day here at Minerva because we are launching our latest base cloth in the Minerva Exclusive fabric collection. Now we have a cotton sateen and we have wanted to print on a woven cotton fabric right from when we launched Minerva Exclusive Fabrics, but we are so particular on the base cloths, and for a little while we just couldn't find quite the perfect cotton, but we have now found it, and it is a beautiful cotton sateen. It is the most luxurious cotton ever. It's wonderful for dressmaking, and I'm here today in today's video to show you 10 of the prints we are launching. We're launching 20 prints and I've got 10 of them to show you in detail here today, and to talk you through, you know, some of the details about the fabric, and I've got a whole bunch of pattern suggestions to share with you. So let me grab one of the fabrics to open up and show you, and I'll talk you through the base cloth. It is honestly just the most exquisite cotton you will ever feel. It is amazing. So this is our stunning Summer Dreaming print on our 100% cotton sateen base cloth. It is absolutely beautiful. The cotton sateen, now often people when they hear the word sateen they think satin and they think shiny, and that's not the case at all with a cotton sateen. It's not a shiny fabric at all. I mean, you'll be able to see when I hold that up on camera, you know, it's not a shiny finish like you would, you know, like a typical satin. But what it does have, it's a very finely woven fabric, and it has a lustrous kind of finish. So it's very smooth. It almost feels like silk. It is that silky smooth. It's absolutely beautiful. And yeah, it has this lustrous finish which just gives it such an expensive look, and it feels absolutely incredible. Now, cotton sateen, in terms of weight, it is very similar to a cotton poplin. So it's a little bit heavier than a cotton lawn and similar to a poplin. But how it is different to a poplin is that it has this lustrous, really expensive finish, and that comes from the way it's been woven. And it's also softer and drapier than a cotton poplin. So we really think that this is the absolute perfect woven cotton, because you haven't got the worries about it being see-through, which you sometimes get with a cotton lawn. So it has a lovely weight to it, yet it still has the softness and that silkiness and a little bit of drapiness like what you get with a cotton lawn, which is why so many of us, you know, love cotton lawn. But this is absolutely just the best of both worlds. So that gorgeous silkiness, an absolutely beautiful lustrous finish that gives it such an expensive look, and you've got the weight that makes it, you know, so you're not going to have to line this fabric at all, and it's 100% cotton as well. So 100% cotton that's silky smooth. It's absolutely beautiful, and we really hope that, you know, when you guys get this at home, that you're going to love it just as much as we do. We spent years literally sourcing this base cloth, and when the actual rolls of fabric arrived, we all like let out a squeal because it's so beautiful. It was absolutely everything that we hoped for. You know, when we go through lots and lots of sampling stages when we, you know, design our exclusive collections, you know, so they've got to be fully tested, we've got to get the scale and the colour of the print just right, so we go through lots and lots of sampling, you know, before the fabric ever lands with us. So, you know, you've gone through all those stages, and then when the fabric finally lands, you know, it's like all that hard work, you know, it comes to fruition there, and just to see the fabrics in all the glory, it was an amazing moment here at the Minerva HQ. So, a few more details about the fabric. So yeah, it's absolutely not a satin finish. It has a lustrous sheen of a finish to it, which is just really, really beautiful. It's made from 100% cotton, and yeah, like I say, weight wise, we think of cotton sateen as being the dressmaker's version of cotton poplin, because you have the silkiness and drapeability of a cotton lawn, but you have the weight of a poplin, so it really is the best of both worlds. Now weight wise, this is 115 grams per square metre, so that puts it in our light to medium weight category on the site. So you know, it is relatively lightweight, but like I say, it's not see-through at all, and because it's so finely woven, you know, you don't have the worry of it being see-through even on the lighter weight, lighter coloured prints. And as I mentioned before, you know, it has a little bit of structure and a little bit of drape, so it's semi-structured, semi-draped. So it's not as drapey as our viscose challis, like the one I'm wearing, but it's not as structured as, you know, like a cotton broadcloth or a cotton, or as structured as a cotton poplin. It sits somewhere in between. It's a woven fabric and it has no stretch at all, so there's no stretch in the width and no stretch in the length. Now this is going to be a really easy fabric to sew with, so if you are a beginner to sewing, or you know, you just have a few projects under your belt, this is going to be a wonderfully well behaved fabric. You know, it doesn't slip and slide when you're cutting it out, and it just behaves itself when you're sewing with it. It presses like a dream. It really is a wonderful fabric to sew with. So you've got all those benefits of 100% cotton with that beautiful drape. Oh, we absolutely, if you can't tell, absolutely love this fabric. So in terms of washing instructions, so the manufacturer's instructions with this are to wash at 30 degrees and to air dry, which is the way that you're going to preserve the life of this fabric, you know, for the longest, so you keep it in its best condition for as long as possible. However, we have tested it at a 40-degree wash and a tumble dry, and it is absolutely fine. But you know, we would always recommend to you know, to do a test if you're going to change from the manufacturer's instructions. You know, just to put a little swatch piece in your machine as you intend to wash it, and then you can be absolutely sure then that, you know, it comes out as you intend it to. We would always, as with any fabric, we would always advise to pre-wash. So, and especially with this being a cotton and a natural fibre, it does have a little bit of shrinkage, not much at all. It's a tiny amount. If you allow for 5%, you are well covered with that, just to be on the absolute safe side. But it really doesn't shrink much at all for 100% cotton fabric. It is 142 centimetres wide approximately, or that's approximately 56 inches, so it's a good wide width fabric, so you know, it's good value for money in that respect. It is Ecotex certified, and this is a mill that we have worked with. The mill is based in India, where these are printed and made, and we have worked with that mill at Minerva for probably, well, it must be at least over 10 years. So, you know, we are very familiar with them and the people that run it, and yeah, they're just fantastic. They are obsessed with quality and you know, and doing things properly, and they're a joy to work with. So yeah, in terms of things you can make with this fabric, now this is where it's really exciting, because it is such a versatile fabric. You can make tops, tunics, shirts, blouses, skirts, a whole variety of styles of dresses, caftans, summery jumpsuits, summery trousers, shorts even things like, I mean, really luxurious pyjamas or robes. I mean, there's just so many things you can make. It's almost endless. You know, you are looking really for a pattern that requires a woven light to medium weight fabric, that has a fabric that has semi-structure and semi-drape. So all the patterns that require a drapey fabric, you will be able to use this, and patterns that require more structure, as long as it didn't require something really structured, again, you will be able to use this fabric. So yeah, there's just so many options, and the 10 fabrics I'm going to share with you today, I've picked a pattern out that I think would team perfectly with that fabric. But then I've also got another bunch of patterns to share with you, just to give you even more pattern suggestions, you know, and ideas on the sorts of things you can make with these. Yeah, so I think that's everything covered. Like I say, in terms of how easy it is to sew, it's super easy fabric. Just a regular size 80 needle would be ideal, a 70 or an 80 needle, and just regular, you know, Gutterman, a regular type sew all thread. That's all you need with this fabric. So on to the designs, which is the exciting part, isn't it? So this is our Summer Dreaming print, and I actually chose this print. And I just think it's glorious. The colours, the scale of the print, those flowers. I mean, it's absolute joy in a fabric to me, is this. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I plan on making a shirt dress in this, I think. I actually have a piece of this fabric in the viscose chalet, and I'm going to make a blouse in that, I think, and then a shirt dress in this one. I do think the Cotton Sateen is absolutely made for a shirt dress. It's absolutely gorgeous. So that's print number 1. And so the pattern pick I have for this is a pattern from the indie pattern company, the Assembly line, and it is the caftan dress. Now we'll insert some pictures so you can see the details of the pattern. But this is a really simple, full-length caftan dress with a V neckline and a raglan sleeve. Very, very simple, but wouldn't, oh, it has pockets as well, but wouldn't that pattern just absolutely showcase this fabric gloriously? I think that would be a nice simple sew, but in a fabric like that, it would just be absolutely beautiful. Now the second print, now this is one of our iconic Minerva Exclusive fabrics. It's been one of our best selling designs right from day one, and it is Animal Glow. And isn't that absolutely a showstopper? I think it is beautiful. Oh, now something to note, on the cotton base cloth like this, the prints do look a little bit different to how they look on some of our other base cloths. So when you print on viscose, for example, the colours can often be quite dark and deep, whereas on cotton they're definitely a little bit lighter and brighter, which, you know, they both look fabulous in their own way. Likewise, when we're printing our sweater knits or our loop back or our viscose jersey, our linens as well, you know, every base cloth, the printing is different on all of them, and some prints, you know, don't suit different base cloths. You know, it really depends on the print, and you know, some of them really sing on certain base cloths and other times they don't work. So, you know, we go through all that process. You know, we have months and months of prep work, years even in some cases, leading up to the launch of these fabrics, and we've chose prints that absolutely work on this Cotton Sateen base cloth, and that one I just think is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And the pattern I've chosen for Animal Glow is the Blair shirt and shirt dress from Stylark. Now this is another really popular pattern in the sewing community. It's a really quite a simple shirt dress in a way. So as you know, your collar, a shirt collar detail, button up fastening at the front. It has a seam detail across the bust area, a little turn up detail on the edge of the sleeves, pockets, and it has a shaped hemline as well. Now the shirt version is very similar, except of course, you know, it's a crop shirt instead of the full length dress. But either option I think will be absolutely gorgeous in Animal Glow. The next one, oh, this is one of my favourite prints. I mean, if you've watched any of my videos before, you'll know I love turquoise, and I love this print. I think it's gorgeous. I've made something now in the viscose and in the linen, and I'm absolutely going to be making something in the Cotton Sateen as well. I actually made a shirt dress in the linen version of this print, and this is Dynamic Brushstrokes. Sorry, I forgot to say the name then. Isn't that just, it's a work of art on fabric. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love everything about this print. It has my name all over it. So the pattern I've chose for this one, and this is again one that I think is going to be on my to sew queue. So this is McCall's 7948, and it's one of our most popular dress patterns. Every year this is really, really popular, and I think the Cotton Sateen will be absolutely gorgeous for this pattern. The structure that it has will hold the shape of the skirt, but it won't be too structured or too stiff. You know, the softness and the silkiness and just the the drape that it does have will make this dress absolutely beautiful to wear. It will hang gorgeous. If you do any of the options with the sleeve, the frills on the sleeve, it will be so pretty in this. And yeah, any version on that pattern I think would work wonderfully in that fabric. The next fabric we have, so this print is called Popcorn Jelly, which I love the name of this. And this colourway we've printed in the Cotton Sateen is our Parakeet colourway, which is this beautiful, vivid, jewel kind of toned green colour. It's absolutely beautiful. Now this was designed by Rachel Parker, who is an amazing fabric designer. We've done quite a few prints with Rachel, and this one, if you've seen it in the Viscose Chalet, you'll know it comes in quite a few colourways, but we decided to do the green in the Cotton Sateen in our initial launch, and because the colours were just wonderful. Green is such an on-trend colour right now as well. It's really, really popular at the moment, and we just thought the way those colours printed, it really makes that print sing on this base cloth. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and we really wanted to have, you know, we've got some big bold prints in this collection, but we've made sure we include, you know, some smaller scale prints, you know, because we know lots of people, you know, prefer a smaller scale print, and some pattern styles as well just suit, you know, a smaller scale print. And the one I've chosen, I think, is a good example of that. So the pattern I would pair with this fabric is Simplicity 8839, and this is rated an easy to sew, which is good, top pattern, which comes in there's loads of different options in this one pattern. But with it being a top and with it having lots of details already in the pattern, like if you take a look at the line drawing we'll insert, you'll be able to see, you know, those big so like statement puff sleeves that gather in at 3 places down the sleeve, or you've got the ones with a little tie option, or you've got a crossover detail on the back, loads and loads of different options. So I thought you maybe wouldn't want a fabric that's too busy, with this pattern being so busy and, you know, so full of features and details already. So I thought the Popcorn Jelly print would be the perfect accompaniment to that pattern, and would just be so joyful in those beautiful colours. So the next fabric we've got, now I had to include an animal print in our first collection, and this one has been an absolute winner. It looks amazing on Cotton Sateen, the colours really pop, and this print is called Paws Play. It's been another winner of a design. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? It's quite a simple animal print in lots of ways. You know, it's not a very big scale. It's a small to medium scale print, but I think what makes this one really special is the colours. You know, we have this like a navy come teal, very rich bluey kind of coloured background, and then the animal print itself is made up of shades of lime, like a zesty lime green, just a hint of that, this like electric turquoise blue, and then the black, which tones it all down. You know, there's quite a lot of black in there. So the really vibrant pops of colour, there's just a tiny little bit of those that really just like lifts it and makes it pop. But overall, you know, it's quite a subtle design in some ways. I mean, maybe not subtle for some people, in fairness, but you know, for an interesting, unusual animal print like that, you know, it's relatively subtle, with just those, you know, those pops of colour that really make it sing. Now, pattern wise on this, I did go for quite a statement dress pattern on this. Now this is a pattern from indie brand Pattern Fantastique. They do some amazing patterns, and this is the Valley dress and top, and oh my goodness, it's a showstopper of a pattern is this one. Both the dress and the top are equally gorgeous. So you have a round neckline with like a little slip down that's tied with a little tie at the top. And then like a squared off bodice that goes into this massive puff sleeve that gathers in again at the bottom of the sleeve. Then the skirt is really big, and the sort of the bottom section of the top is really big. The dress option has big pockets in there, which are a fabulous shape, and then the shape of the hem is curved. So it's just absolutely glorious, and I thought in a print like this, it would especially, I was going to say especially the dress, but even the top as well, it would really allow this print to shine. It would showcase the fabric beautifully. Again, the drape versus structure of this fabric would be perfect for, you know, holding the shape of the puff sleeve, but having enough drape to hang and sit beautifully. Again, it would hold the fullness of the shape of the skirt or the bottom of the top, but it would still swish and drape beautifully and hang really nicely. So it's another example of just how versatile this fabric is, really. The next print we have is Rainbow Harvest, and this one is just full of colour. It's beautiful. It's so joyful, this fabric. It just makes you smile when you look at this print. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? I love all the, you know, it's got so many layers as this fabric, and the background colour is a very dark, like tealy blue colour that just sets off all the colours of the, you know, the layers of like leaves and plants that are on there. It's absolutely beautiful. And the pattern I've chose for this one, now I think this base cloth is perfect for making the most luxurious pyjamas. So I had to include the Carolyn pyjamas from Closet Core. Whether you made the long sleeve and long leg option or the shorts with the shorter sleeve, either would be absolutely gorgeous. And I think it, you know, it wouldn't need the piping detail, but you could, you know, pick out one of the colours, maybe like the hot pink, and do a hot pink piping detail. Oh, I think that would be absolutely beautiful. The next print we have, now this has been another winner. This has been one of the most popular prints on Viscose Chalet, and it looked amazing on Cotton Sateen, so we had to print it. And this is Inky Grove. How glorious does that look on Cotton Sateen? Oh, it's amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. We work with a Spanish artist who creates the most like amazing pieces of, you know, of art for your wall, and you know, she sells her paintings, and we work with her to create repeat prints that's based on her artwork. And I think you can really see that in this design. You can see the splashes of paint, and where, you know, bits of the paint has trickled down the you know, the work of art. And just the colours and everything about it, I think, is just absolutely beautiful. I think it's gorgeous. I love the fresh colours in that one as well. The blues and purples on that white background. It's just, oh, it's so fresh and summery. Now, the pattern I've chose for this one, I've gone for a really popular pattern with the Minerva community by Common Stitch, another indie brand, and this is the Pipit loungewear set. So I love the idea of creating loungewear in these fabrics. I mean, what could be more luxurious than, you know, having a loungewear set to wear at home in something so soft and silky. It's going to feel fabulous against your skin. And the Pipit loungewear set is really, really lovely. So you have shorts, and it's like a button-up sort of like oversized sleeve casual shirt with a V-neck line. Oh, I just think that would be gorgeous, and in that print it'd be so fresh, and yeah, it would just feel lovely to wear. So the next print we have, we're getting close to the end now. This is another beauty. This one's such a pretty design, and this is called Expressive Butterflies. Isn't that super sweet? Butterflies are having a bit of a moment right now, and I mean, they never really got out of style, do they? But at the moment, they seem to be really on trend, and I really love this design. It has this almost like a pea green, like a really soft pastel, quite understated colour in the background, and then the butterflies themselves, you can tell, have been hand painted, and the colours in there with just this hint of black really pops on that pale green background. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. And the pattern I've picked for that one, I've actually gone for something with vintage, you know, vintage style dress. I love a bit of vintage style, and again, I think this base cloth really suits lots of vintage style. So You know, you can make blouses, fit and flare dresses. The dress that I'm mentioning here, so this is Simplicity 9286, and this is designed by Gertie from Charm Patterns, a pattern that she's done for Simplicity, and it's an absolutely beautiful, so it's got a high neckline with a wide, almost like a boat neck opening, sleeveless, very fitted, very simple bodice. And then it has a beautiful full skirt, which I just love that style. It does also have option B, which has a fitted pencil skirt as well. So if that's more your style, there is that option on the pattern as well. But the thing that is lovely about this pattern is the back view, which you'll be able to see on the pictures that we pop in. And at the back, it almost looks like, you know, so the bodice, as you would sew it up, you know, normally with a zip at the back, but that it's not like that. Those bodice panels, it looks like it's been folded back on itself and then a button detail added at the two corners. So it creates a very low V at the back with this high neckline at the front. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. Now, I would imagine so expressive butterflies being the main fabric, and then on the bit that folds back at that neckline, I would go for a plain black cotton, just, you know, a cotton sateen or a cotton poplin, just a plain, like I say, you know, light to medium weight cotton, and use that as the contrast to really, you know, pick out the black in the print and make a real statement. I think that will be absolutely gorgeous. The second to last print, so this is the 9th fabric now. This is Peacock Nebula, and this is absolutely beautiful. The colours in this I just think are gorgeous. How lovely is that? So again, it's, you know, it's predominant, it's got lots of turquoise in there, which I absolutely love, but it's magical, this print. You know, so it's all these scattered peacock feathers, which I love a peacock feather print anyway, but the colours in this are just absolutely beautiful. There's lots of blues, turquoises, purples, and oh yeah, I just think it's magical, that print. Now, I wanted a pattern with this that would really showcase this print and really show it off in its full glory. So I chose the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra dress, which is a shirt dress pattern that has gorgeous tiers in the skirt, a typical, you know, shirt collar detail at the neckline. It has two different sleeve options, so a simple plain shorter sleeve, or the sleeve that I love that has a longer, a little bit similar to what I'm wearing today actually, a longer sleeve that comes into an elastic at the cuff, has buttons up the bodice, the bodice, and then you can choose to make it where it hangs quite straight, or you can put a waist tie in there that draws it in at the waist to make, you know, it more fitted at the waist and bring and give you some shape. Either option would be absolutely gorgeous in this fabric, and yeah, you know, you can make a knee length dress or a midi length dress from this pattern. So there's two length options. Either will be gorgeous, but I must admit I do love the idea of a full length dress, the midi length dress in this, to really show off that fabric. I think it will be amazing. And then the last print I've got is the one on the mannequin here. So this one is called Secret Jungle. Now this one is quite a relatively new print, so we've only ever printed this on the viscose challis before, but when I saw this on the Cotton Sateen, I just had to have this print on the Cotton Sateen because I thought it was absolutely beautiful. I love the colour of the background. It's like a jade green, venturing into teal, but it's more on the green side rather than the blue side. And then this absolutely stunning leaf print on the surface, which is one of those prints that the more you look at it, you know, the more that you see in it. There's just so much detail in this fabric. It's beautiful. You can, you know, so much work that goes into these designs from, you know, the textile artists that we work with, and they really are works of art on fabric. They're just gorgeous. So this one has the most prominent part of the design that you first see are these big bold leaf shapes, and what's interesting about these is that lots of the leaves are actually filled with different animal prints. So it really creates just it's such a gorgeous print, and, you know, really visually very interesting and lots to look at. And then the bit that maybe you don't see at first glance that is there and is really adds an extra layer and dimension are the leaf prints that are in the background that are a very similar colour palette to the background, but the print is very similar to, you know, the ones that are most prominent. So it almost acts like a shadow behind the main print, and you know, it just adds extra detail and interest to that background colour. Absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, I hope you guys love this one as much as I did. When I saw it on the Cotton Sateen, I just fell in love with it, and I knew we had to print this one on Cotton Sateen. So the pattern I've chose for this one is a really popular pattern in the Minerva community, and this is the Cali shirt and shirt dress from Closet Core Patterns. If you've been sewing for any number of years, I'm sure you probably have seen this pattern. It's an absolute winner. So many people have made it, and it's such a good wearable pattern. So it's a shirt that comes in 3 different views. So there's a cropped view, more of a tunic length, and then more of a dress length, with lots of different options on the pattern. And yeah, it's another example of a really popular pattern that would work so well in any of our cotton sateens, but that print especially, I thought, you know, would work really well with that pattern. So that's all the 10 fabrics I had to share with you. So like I said, we are launching 20 prints today, and Jo will be doing another video which she'll be releasing later this week that will show you the other 10 designs. But yeah, I say 10 of my favourites, but I mean, I chose, you know, I was involved in choosing all 20 of them. So yeah, I love absolutely all of them. But yeah, these were 10 of my favourites, and like I said, Jo will be doing another video later this week that will show you the rest of the collection. So that's all the fabrics. Now I do just have a few more patterns to share with you, and just to give you some more ideas on the sorts of things you can make. So I'm going to run through these quickly, but it'll just give you, you know, lots of ideas on lots of pattern choices that you can choose for these fabrics. So first up we have Simplicity 8651, and it's a learn to sew, so really simple, easy pattern for summery shorts. Really quick and easy, cute summer shorts, would look fabulous in any of the prints. Yeah, a real winner of pattern for a summery short. Next one, I want to include another couple of vintage style patterns. So the first one is Simplicity 8654, which is a 1940s vintage pattern, a reprint from an original. And this is a 2-piece pattern with different options. So there's a top that has like a tie detail at the bust, which is really cute and so you know, typical of that era. And then view B and C are a short that has like pleated tuck details and a beautiful skirt that's got gathering into the waist, so it's a nice full skirt. So you know, it makes a beautiful cord set whether you go for the skirt or the short option with that really cute top with a bow. The other vintage pattern, so this is Simplicity 1221, another 1940s vintage pattern. I do love that era of vintage style, I must admit. But this is actually an apron pattern. So I don't think I actually mentioned that, you know, it would be great for sewing aprons. Now don't get me wrong, you know, it would be a very luxurious apron, but why not? And this pattern I think is a really good example of the sort of apron that would be beautiful for it. You know, that vintage style, you know, an apron like that's just a little bit special, I think deserves a special fabric, so I think that will be a really cute option. Next up we have Berda 6678, and this is another pattern that's rated super easy, and this is a trouser pattern that has a drawstring waist. Very simple, you know, as it suggests with me, a super easy pattern, and yeah, it's designed for, you know, woven fabrics. So in a fabric like this that has a little bit of drape, little bit of structure, it will be, I think, the perfect fabric for making something like this that will make a really simple, easy to wear, casual, summery trouser. Yeah, that would just be gorgeous to wear in spring and summer. Next up we have McCall's 7129, and this is another learn to sew pattern, so it's a really easy pattern, and if you're new to dressmaking, this could be a really good one to start with because it holds your hand throughout the whole making of the pattern. And this is actually a wrap skirt that has a tie closure at the waistband, and it has side pockets. And what is interesting about this pattern, so it has a straight option in view C and D, and then it has a much fuller skirt for options A and B. Which actually has pockets in there as well. And what I love is on view A, the skirt is actually reversible. So you can wear it, you know, either way out. So you will need two different fabrics for that, two contrasting fabrics. So I thought, you know, if you love these prints, what an amazing opportunity to pick two that team really well together, or they do complete opposites, and you literally would have two skirts in one. I think that would be really cool, and it's really easy to make, and just, yeah, what a great way to be able to use more than one print in a garment. Next up we have menswear patterns. This is McCall's 6044, and I think off the top of my head this is our best selling men's shirt pattern. It's a real classic. You've got long and short sleeve options, a traditional collar, different pocket options, button-up fastening, you've different options on the yoke, and different sleeve options. Yeah, there's so many different views in this pattern, so you can choose, you know, the elements from all the different views that you want and make your perfect shirt. And yeah, our cotton sateen, perfect for shirt making. Next up we have, this is another simplicity pattern, number 8146, and this is actually a jumpsuit or a dress pattern that's designed for women, children, and even a doll. So if your child wanted, you know, a matching outfit for their little doll, you could make that with this pattern, which I think is really sweet. But no, the main thing I love on this pattern is the fact that you can have a mummy and child matching outfit, and yeah, it's a great example of a jumpsuit pattern that would work well in this sort of fabric, perfect for summer, but even, you know, the dress option in there is equally lovely as well. Yeah, some great options on that pattern. Next up we have a pattern from Stylark, and these are the Thea paper bag pants. So this is another trouser option that I think, you know, would work really well in this fabric. Now, you know, if you're making trousers or a jumpsuit in this type of fabric, you know, it's a light to medium weight, so, you know, it's going to make a summery pair of trousers, not perhaps something you'd wear in the winter when it's freezing. Something when it's a little bit warmer, you want something lighter weight and cooler and breathable. And I think the paper bag pants, the Thea pants from Stylark, would be lovely. It has that paper bag waist, big pockets, tie at the waist, will be really lovely. Next up we have another pattern designed by Gertie for simplicity. This is 9287, and this is a beautiful vintage style blouse that has this gorgeous sweetheart neckline, a cute little cap sleeve, a button up closure up the front, bust darts and darts at the centre for shape. Really sweet, lovely pattern, perfect for cotton gauze. Another shirt, and I wanted to include a cashmere pattern, the Harrison shirt, because this is a shirt pattern that's designed for curves. So if you're larger in the bust, this actually includes cup sizes C to H. So it's a fantastic, you know, I think if you have a larger bust, it can often be difficult to get a good fit on a shirt pattern, and that's what this pattern is designed to help with. So, and you know, like I said, cotton sateen is just perfect for shirt making, so I think that will be absolutely gorgeous. Next up is actually the pattern that I'm wearing. So this is New Look 6414. Now I made view C and view C, but with the sleeve from B, and that's the version I'm wearing now, which is actually in our viscose Chalet Minerva Exclusive fabric. But I do think as well it would be really lovely in the cotton sateen, so I think I'm going to give this one a go. I think I might go back to view C with the bell sleeves and just the fullness of the top. I think it would hold its shape a little bit more in the cotton sateen than it does in the viscose, so it would have a slightly different look, but I think it would be really beautiful. And I just think this pattern will be a joy to sew in a woven cotton fabric. I think that'd be really lovely. Next up we have McCall's 8040. This is another really lovely blouse, gorgeous sleeve options with big puff sleeves that come into a cuff detail, button up with a V neckline, quite fitted, again fabulous in cotton sateen. Another pattern from an indie brand from the Friday Pattern Company. This is a winner of a pattern, the sagebrush top. Everyone who makes this seems to love it. I love the frill detail across the front, those big puff sleeves, fantastic inclusive size range, which is brilliant on this pattern, and yeah, another absolute winner for cotton sateen. Another top pattern, or a blouse pattern, or a shirt pattern even, is the Kenny woven shirt from Style Arc, and this has a gorgeous big collar that has a frill all the way around that collar. It has darts at the bust for shape, a button-up closure. It's a relatively low neckline for a shirt, which I think adds, you know, it makes it a little bit more dressy maybe. And then it has puff sleeve, like a full sleeve again, that comes into, gathers into a cuff. Really, really lovely, and I think the collar especially and that frill detail would work so beautifully in the cotton sateen. Next up, so we're on to a run of dresses now, because so many people love dresses, don't they? Dresses are our most popular pattern here at Minerva, so I wanted to include a good selection. So we have McCall's 7892, and I love this one. I think this might be the dress, that and the 7948 pattern. These might be the two dresses that I make in the cotton sateen to start with. So on this pattern there are tops and dresses. I do love the top of B as well, but I love the dresses of C and D. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. V neckline with a crossover bodice, a waistband detail, and a full skirt. The sleeves with the big frill on the edge are gorgeous, or the full ones that draw into elastic at the cuff. So many glorious options on that one. I'm so excited by that pattern. Another vintage style and pattern, this is a dress. This is Butterick 6363. I love the elegance of this pattern. So it's a button-up shirt dress that has just like a round, sort of quite a low round neckline, or a neckline that has a collar detail on there. It's like a grown on, almost like a bit like a flutter sleeve, button-up bodice, or full button-up from top to bottom. Really, really elegant dress. Another vintage style dress, this is the Butterick Retro Walkaway dress from a reissue of a 1952 pattern, and this again is a great example of a fit and flare dress that I think would be perfect for cotton sateen, because it has enough structure to hold the shape of that skirt, but it's soft and drapey and just, you know, silky and comfortable, that it's gonna, you know, it's not gonna feel too stiff. It's gonna just feel beautiful and luxurious to wear. Another one, now this pattern is a Vogue pattern, 9299, and it's a real statement shirt or shirt dress pattern, and I just loved all the sleeve options on this. Like, if you're into big sleeves and making a statement, I think you'll love all the options on this pattern. And I also love on the shirt dress how you have this big belt detail that ties around the centre. And again, this fabric, you know, so it would hold the shape of that sleeve, but it would you know, it has enough structure to hold the shape of that shirt dress and that belt detail around the waist. That would be just magnificent. Then we have McCall's 8285. Really one of our best-selling shirt dress patterns that has top on there as well, but dresses over the top, and just, yeah, it's a gorgeous tiered shirt dress. Really, really beautiful, perfect for the cotton sateen. And the last pattern I've got to share with you today, so I know that was a lot to get through, but I wanted to give you loads of ideas. So this dress is the Belle Woven dress by Style Arc, and this is such a pretty dress. It's lots and lots of details, so it's got a button-up fastening up the front, it has side inseam pockets, you can make the sleeves with a gathered detail at the bottom of the sleeve, but you can also do one that has rows of shearing in the sleeve as well, so it almost like creates a double puff detail. It's really pretty. It has a panel detail at the waist which creates shape and really accentuates the waistline, gathering details under the bust, just really, really loads of details on there, and it will be beautiful made in any of the cotton sateens. So that's all the fabrics and patterns I had to share with you today. That was a mammoth video to get through. I hope you found that really inspiring though, and you know, we always get asked at Minerva, you know, for pattern suggestions for all our fabrics, because you know, we can fully appreciate that when, you know, you're buying fabric online, you can't touch and feel it. You know, we do lots of you know, support for that in terms of videos and, you know, all the projects that are shared on our site, you know, to really try and get across on screen what the fabric is like. But hopefully me me, you know, holding them up in these videos for you and giving you so many pattern suggestions. Hopefully that gives you a really good sense of, you know, what these fabrics are suitable for, what you can make with them, and yeah, just hopefully that gets across just how gorgeous this fabric actually is. Yeah, like I said, we're so proud of this collection. The prints are magnificent, the quality of the base cloth is just gorgeous. We think the price point on this fabric, you know, it's not a cheap fabric by any means, but we think it is absolutely fantastic value. You know, we look at other sort of you know, comparable quality cottons, and they are, for a fabric of this quality, you know, it's often much more expensive than the Minerva Exclusive range. So we're really proud of the price point we've been able to bring this at as well. So thank you very much for watching today. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you do make anything of these fabrics, please do create a free profile on Minerva and join our wonderful sewing community on there. You can share your makes with us. You can just in general join the wonderful, welcoming, friendly, warm community that is on Minerva, and you know, chat sewing with people that love it just as much as you do from all over the world. Ask for tips and advice. Watch all our sew-alongs and tutorials and pattern and fabric pairing videos like this. You know, you can ask for tips and advice. You can share your own makes, plan out your projects on there, use the site, you know, as you want to. So please do join us on there and create a free profile today. As always, I will tag all the products that I've mentioned today, and I know there's a lot, but I will tag them all underneath the video on Minerva. So if you want to check out any of these patterns or fabrics, you'll be able to find all the links below. And if you would like 10% off all the products I've mentioned today, then you can join the Minerva Craft Club. So from the moment you join, you then get 10% off everything that you spend, everything that you buy at Minerva for a whole 12 months. That's always on top of any offers or promotions or sale prices on the site, so you're always saving extra. And as always at Minerva, we always offer free worldwide delivery options as well. So you know, wherever you are in the world, you know, we always have super fast delivery, and you know, and really fantastic postage rates as well, and free options as well for wherever you are in the world. So do let me know in the comments below, are you excited by this fabric collection? Are you excited by this base cloth? Which was your favourite print from the ones I've shown? I will put a link to all the designs so you can go and have a look at all 20 prints we're launching today on the site. And do let me know, what was your favourite print? Which is your favourite pattern idea? What was your favourite pairing? And what are you planning to sew in these gorgeous fabrics? So thanks very much for watching. Please do give us a like and a follow, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.